time we looked at finding the parts of an ellipse, we looked at finding the center, which we had was 0, 0, and that's going to be the case today too. We talked about the vertices, the covertices, the major axis, and the minor axis. And just a reminder, the major axis is the long direction. And so if it's x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, where a squared is greater than b squared, then the major axis runs in the x direction. If the bigger number is under the y, the major axis runs in the y direction, meaning if I had x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1, this one, the major axis, runs up and down. That's the long direction of the ellipse. Okay? And so those are the things that we found. We're going to look at today finding those things and then sketching a graph of what they look like. So if we had something like this, let's see, I'll start out with a nice one. Let's look at this one right here. X squared over 4 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. So we want to find those parts. We want to find the center, 0, 0. We want to find the vertices, the covertices, the length of the major axis, the length of the minor axis. Okay? And so I know that a is the bigger number. This is a squared, this is b squared, so I know that a equals 3 and b equals 2. I'm going to go 3 from 0, 0. I'm going to go 3 in the y direction, 1, 2, 3, and put a point, and 3 in the y direction down there and put a point. Those are my vertices of my graph. So those are the points 0, 3, and 0, negative 3. The covertices, that's what b tells us. We're going to go 2 in the other direction then, in the x direction, and 2 this way. So those are the points 2, 0, and negative 2, 0. And now you can look, this just has a length of 4, that's the minor axis. This has a length of 6, 2 times each of these. Sketch in your ellipse then. And you have something that looks like that. Okay? All of a sudden we get one like this one, where all of a sudden those aren't nice perfect squares. It doesn't matter, it's still pretty straightforward. The center is going to be 0, 0, vertices, covertices, major axis, minor axis. You can use your calculator or you can just leave them as roots. I know that this is a squared, this is b squared. So a is going to be the square root of 30. B is going to be the square root of 10. Okay? The major axis runs in the x direction because that's where the bigger number is. So whatever square root of 30 is, you can take your calculator and it's 5.4 or whatever it is. Okay? And you could write that down. I'm just going to leave it as square root of 30. I know that I'm going square root of 30. Well, I know it's to graph it, I'm going to go 5 point, and I would take the calculator. It's going to be 5 and something, right? Somewhere in the middle. And 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and about right there. So those are going to be my two vertices. So the vertices, I went square root of 30 this way from 0, 0, and this way. So it's going to be square root of 30, 0, and minus square root of 30, 0. Or you could use the decimal, 5 point whatever it is, 0, and negative 5 point whatever it is, 0. Covertices, I'm going to go square root of 10 up or down. Well, square root of 10 is like 3.1 or 2 or something like that. And 1, 2, 3.1 or 2. Okay? Those are the covertices. Oops, covertices. So all we do then is we're going to go this way from 0, 0, square root of 10. So that's going to be 0 square root of 10, 0 minus square root of 10. Okay? The major axis is going to have twice the longest length, so it's going to be 2 times the square root of 30. The minor axis is going to be 2 times the square root of 10. And again, if you want the decimals, you can do that. Okay? I think the answer's on the answer key. Yeah, I have them. Answers are in square roots, but if you run into any, it's either way. You can just take the calculator and see if you have the same thing, and that's fine. And then all you do is you just sketch in what your ellipse looks like. Let's see, my hand gets in the way here doing it. That's my excuse, and I'm going to stick with that. And there it is. There's my ellipse. And that's the type of problems you'll have on your assignment. Please let me know if you have any questions.